Okay, so I wanted to tackle this topic of overcoming your fear when taking photos because it came up on my recent photography workshop that I did here in Beijing this past week. Last week, we did a photography workshop about the Chinese New Year. And one of the students that I spoke to was speaking about this fear that they had about photographing people. And they were talking about how they were afraid about confrontation, about how they were afraid to even take out their camera. So this is something that I thought that, this is something that I thought would be a really good topic to talk about because I think it's an issue that many amateur photographers take and I have. And I think it's something that I want to discuss a little bit more openly so that we can, really talk about what the main fears are so that they don't hold you back in your photography. So, first, I'd like to talk about my experiences. So, 20 years ago, or just over 20 years ago, when I first started taking photographs, I was actually the same in terms of being afraid to take pictures because I had no background in photography at all. None of my family did photography, and I'd kind of got drawn towards taking pictures when I found my mum's old camera. And I wanted to start taking photos of things and of people. But those initial feelings of being fearful really held me back at the beginning. And it took me a long time to actually get over those fears of either people noticing me taking pictures and me being worried about their reaction, or just worrying about people thinking I was a bit weird for maybe taking a picture of a tree or a leaf on a bench or something something random like that. I was kind of a little bit worried about what people would think of me. So over the past 20 years, obviously, as I've transitioned into becoming a professional photographer and photojournalist, I've built up a lot of skills that I feel are, really useful in helping you also overcome maybe some of those fears. And from time to time, I still do get a little bit nervous about taking photos in a new place, or if I'm photographing a new group of people that I've never met before. So a lot of these ideas still apply. But one thing I wanted to make sure that you all know that even in 20 years of taking pictures, I've only had a handful of negative experiences, and I can really count them on one hand, the negative experiences I had. I pulled out these two pictures from my archive because these two are from negative experiences that I have. I can all, you can always remember the bad experiences, all the good photos, a lot of those just blend into the shooting, but the negative experiences always kind of pop up and stay clear in your mind. Like the image on the left was when I was on the Tibetan plateau and I was in this monastery, and this young boy didn't want his photograph taken, and I only just realized that as I took that picture. And that was because it was quite a popular tourist site. Many tourists visited there, and obviously these young monks were a little bit tired of having their photo taken by tourists with cameras. And so after taking that photo, he obviously made it clear that he didn't want his photo taken. So I just kind of diffused the situation, smiled and said, okay, and left. And the image on the right-hand side was a story that I did in India about pollution. I was photographing in this horribly polluted location. And you can see in the top right of that picture, a man in this vat of chemicals. And he hadn't seen me, but after a little while, he noticed me taking his picture. And then he got quite angry with me and my assistant that I was with. And he made it really, really clear that he didn't want his photo taken. So we immediately left. But the point is that those negative experiences are very few and far between. So let's get down to the root of fear for photographers when they're taking pictures. And I think really it comes down to less about the photography and the act of taking the pictures itself, but it's more about the rejection from the people that you're photographing, whether that's, the people getting angry, or whether you're feeling uncertain and unsure in yourself about the people or group of people that you're photographing. But it's important to remember that in this day and age, everyone is taking photos. This picture is from last weekend when we were out in the Chinese New Year workshop, and literally everyone is out there with their cameras, whether it's a cell phone, point and shoot. And so people are taking photos all the time. So it's actually a great time now compared to, say, 20 years ago when I was first getting started in photography and no one had cell phones. No one was really taking pictures in public. Now it's actually not that rare to see people out in public taking pictures. So that's one thing to help, lower your stress levels a little bit, so to speak. The other thing to remember is if you're photographing in busy places that, to be honest, most people are just going about their day. Most people are kind of lost in their own world. Most people are distracted, especially these days, on their phones. And so the majority of people, actually, if you're just in the street taking pictures, they're either busy with their own life, just going about their business, or they're distracted. However, if you are perhaps going to a new place or photographing in a new culture, for example, then it's really important that you educate yourself on, the local culture, the local norms around photography, and maybe even to the extreme, you need to think about what laws might apply. And this is something that we'll talk about a little bit later. And a couple of you have brought up in your messages and emails to me about photographing in cultures where maybe photography is more difficult, because every country is different. And I know some of you live in countries where photography is relatively easy, and some of you live in countries where photography in public places is actually quite difficult and sometimes really unwelcome. And some of you even are worried about the local laws. Some countries in Europe, for example, are quite strict. So it's up to you as the photographer to know about these things in terms and in relation to photography, especially if you're going to a new place where you're unfamiliar with the culture, the norms, and the laws, for example. Now, another thing that you need to think about when photographing people is also to think about, representation of other cultures, for example. So for me, in this picture, this is an image that my assistant took of me working in India. And you can see I'm working in a situation there where I'm a foreign photographer. I'm not Indian. I'm a white person photographing in rural India. And I need to think carefully about how that is perceived by the people who I'm photographing and what that might add to the dynamic if anybody talks to me about why I'm photographing or what I'm photographing. And it's something that we just need to think about and consider when we're photographing people. So just to give you a quick case study, these 4 images that I made of people are from this story that I just mentioned before about pollution in India. I did a story about this town where there's a lot of terrible industrial pollution, and I was making photographs of people trying to show what was happening to them, the effects of the industrial pollution. Now, with this type of story, these type of images of people, you can't just turn up and make those pictures. For this story, I spent about a week and a half in this one small community, and I was visiting the same place every day, visiting the same community, meeting the same people every day, trying to build up trust before I even started to take pictures. And so, for these intimate portraits, for example, where I'm really close to people making their picture, I'm obviously talking to them through my interpreter sometimes and communicating my intentions about what I want to do, why I'm taking pictures. And I'm trying to photograph them with respect. I'm trying to show them that I'm motivated and dedicated to that story, to the community, and working with them in that moment, maybe showing them my pictures and explaining what I'm doing. And so for portraiture, especially, not as much for street photography, but for portraiture, this is a really important part of overcoming those fears. It's about building up trust with people, building up that connection first before you make their picture. And that can help you overcome that fear of interacting with people and of making photos of people.